Man, my life before Christ, it was a lot of trying to find my way without knowing the way. I always wanted to be accepted. I always wanted to feel needed in a community. I had no clue where I was going. I didn't see a point in life, to be honest with you. And it hurt. It really hurt. I was lying to myself, thinking I knew everything, thinking I knew the answers to my pain, thinking I knew the answers to my joy, thinking I knew the answers to life. I remember it was nighttime, and it was after I just got done doing drugs, and I came home from my friend's house. On that ride home, I started talking. But I started talking and I started asking. I'm like, if there's a God out there, if you're out there and you care about me and you love me and you have a plan for me that I don't know what it is, I'm willing to lay down my life for you. If you show me a sign. It was maybe a week later. This time I was working at Planet Fitness, the night shift. I remember this man comes into Planet Fitness and he says, if you die right now, where are you going? Heaven or hell? And at first, I was like, whoa, like what's going on here? That's a little bit of a tough question. Do I even believe in heaven or hell? Like, what is happening? And my coworkers weren't thinking much of it. My coworkers were laughing, and part of me was like that too. But then I thought for a second, and I'm like, I was just asking for a sign, wasn't I? And so I talked to this man. He prayed for me. I remember feeling the presence of God in that moment right there. I was always skeptical about church. That kind of kept me from church until my mom, she brought me to this church. There was something in my heart that told me to go. And I remember getting to church and seeing the passion for Christ, dancing and with their hands up and praising and I remember it was Easter. There was the song that was playing in the middle of the service, and in that moment I just broke down. I've always been musical, I've always liked music. I enjoy it. But there was something different about that. It wasn't just good music. Joy completely overflowed me. In that moment, I prayed a desperate prayer, and it was, search me, take everything that's not from you out of me. I'm ready to dive head first. I'm ready to give it all. Pastor Paul comes up and he says, we're baptizing people today. I looked over to my mom and I said, Mom, I gotta do this. In that moment, I stood up and my mom stood up right with me. There's nothing like it. There's not a single drug. There's not a single video game. There's not a single friend. There's not a single person. There's nothing that can amount to God's presence and what God can do for your life. And in that moment, I realized that. And being baptized, dipping down under, coming back up, and man, ever since then, Jesus has taken the wheel and completely turned me in the other direction, completely turned me around and placed my feet on solid ground. And my ego and my pride has been left in hell where it belongs. And I can't sit there and say that life is not hard. I struggle still, but Jesus has given me his shoulder to cry on. He's given me his back that I can ride on. And there's no turning back now. I'm all in and I'm ready to go.